All right, guys, we're going to show you how to first select Apple TV and then AirPlay from the iPad to the Apple TV to listen to your iTunes music through the system via the Apple TV. All right, so first step, we're on the main home screen of the Savant. I'm going to select Apple TV, select Apple TV again. I'm going to select the rooms that I want to listen to it in. So let's do living room, which is the room that we're in now. Let's do the family room, and we'll do the dining room. I'm going to hit done. Apple TV just activated in those rooms. If we turn around and look at the TV, you'll see the Apple TV just came on in this room, and it's also on the TV in the family room, and it would be active through the speakers in the dining room. All right, so if I come here, I can check my volumes by pressing this volume icon. I can adjust the dining room a little bit. So now I'll come out here. Now what we want to do is we want to take the iTunes library music that is in the iPad, and we want to send that through the Apple TV to play through the speakers in the house. So I'm going to press that. I'm going to come here. I'm going to select music. And actually, before I do this, I want to show you a way of, if you swipe up, you get this little menu here. You can swipe left, you can swipe right. When you swipe to the right and you have this Airplay mirroring button, if I select Apple TV, that's going to take whatever video, whatever screen you see on the iPad, as well as audio coming out of the iPad, and it's going to send it up to the up through the Apple TV to the televisions. So that's direct mirroring. That's Airplay mirroring. So you see whatever's on the iPad screen on the television. And I can go ahead and select music. I could select whatever I want, play it through. I'll see the interface on the television, which is fine. If you don't want the interface on the television, you do not want to use Airplay mirroring. So let's turn that off. And so I'm going to show you the first way that you can activate audio. So you're going to swipe to the left here, and you'll see that whatever music is ready to play, whatever was the last thing that was played through iTunes, is showing up right here. And then we have our list of devices here that we can play the music through. So I'm going to select Apple TV. Now, by doing that, the iPad is going to take its audio and send it from the iPad through the network to the Apple TV, and then it's going to play out of the Apple TV through the speakers in the house. So we already have Apple TV active as a source in those three rooms. So I'm just going to go ahead and press play. And there we go. So sometimes it'll activate faster than others. What happens is the Apple TV has to receive the information from the iPad. It buffers it a little bit. This way you don't get any skipping or anything like that. So it could take a few seconds. I've seen it take up to 10, 15 seconds sometimes to buffer before the Apple TV actually starts to play it. But sometimes, other times it'll be instant within a second or two. So it really just depends on, condition of the network, how many people are using the network, what's streaming, so on and so forth. So hit play again, you'll see it comes right on. So now that's playing. What we're essentially doing, I just swipe down and get rid of it. We're within the iTunes music app. That's what we're listening to right now. So the same thing that I just played, if I touch it here, it's the Hamilton soundtrack, Blow Us All Away. I'm going to swipe down. Sorry. By just swiping down anywhere within that box, it gets rid of that box. So I can come back over here to your actual iTunes library. Let's go recently added. Let's go purchased music, and we can scroll through all this purchased music that's on here. A lot of it is, looks like the Hamilton soundtrack. Let's come down here to Something by the Weeknd. I just select that. It starts playing. If I touch the little icon in the corner, it blows up, it gets bigger. The other way to select Airplay to the Apple TV would be going directly into this music app, and when this is big here, you see this little Apple TV icon down here? You're going to select Apple TV. It says Apple TV because Apple TV is already active. I'm going to switch it back to iPad, and now you can hear the music is coming through the iPad. This is what the icon normally looks like. It's just a few little circles with the arrow up. I'm going to select that. Now that the music is playing through the iPad, I select that. I select Apple TV, and it's now going to send the music from the iPad to the Apple TV and in turn through the system because we have Apple TV active as a source in those rooms. So if I come back here and I open Savant, I can touch this, and it's going to show me the rooms that it's active in. If I want to add it to the kitchen, I'm just going to select kitchen, and I'm going to hit done. And now I can come here to my volume, and I have all 4 rooms are active with Apple TV. I can volume up and down the kitchen. I can volume up and down the family room. I can volume up and down the dining room. I can volume up and down the living room here. This master volume, if I hit plus, see them, they're all moving. They're all going up. It's getting louder all over the house in all 4 rooms. If I hit the minus button, they're all universally lowering at the same rate. So hit done on that. And that's pretty much it. If you want to remove a room without shutting off the music everywhere else, I'm going to select Apple TV, Apple TV. It's going to bring me back into that. I'm going to touch this up here. And let's say I want to remove the 2 television rooms. I'm going to uncheck it, and you could hear the music just went off in the living room and the TV as well, and then same thing in the family room. The music and the television turned off. It is still currently playing in the dining room and the kitchen. So I hit done. I didn't affect the music stream. I just turned off those 2 rooms. All right. So now, while I'm in Apple TV dining room, if I just come up here and I hit this power button, that shuts off the Apple TV universally wherever it's active. One thing not to forget is if you are Airplay streaming music to the Apple TV, you do want to either swipe up and remember, swipe left and right. I'm going to swipe to the left, and I want to unselect Apple TV so that the iPad just doesn't, if somebody else comes along and starts going into music on the iPad and somebody's watching the Apple TV, it doesn't just take it over. It's just a good habit. It'll eventually default out of it if you're not actively using it. But it's just a good habit to go back in and shut it off. Another way to do that is through the music app, again, through this little icon. We touch this icon, and we simply select Apple TV, and you can see the music started playing again because I changed the source that it's playing through, and it's now playing back through the iPad. I simply pause the music, go back to the main screen, reopen Savant so it's back in the original condition. And that's it. That's how we play iTunes media that is on the iPad through the system via the Apple TV.